I guess I found the easiest way on how to complete career with just any UMA that you have, and it's quite a universal one, not gonna lie. It's not that difficult, but it requires some preparation, let's say. And in this video I'm going to provide all the tips. It's going to be mostly about theory, and actual showcase is going to be in the upcoming videos. So let's begin. And also don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, this really helps me. So first of all, here is the full list of the characters that I have. You can see them all right here. And the only one character that I didn't complete yet because I didn't have time, I just received it like today, the new one. All the rest I completed all of them, full career, from the very beginning till the very end, max them out just as much as possible. And the whole thing that pretty much straightforward is actually about the style of their gameplay. When we're talking about the strategies and the distances that are going to covered by any character, the most difficult, by my understanding and by the actual gameplay for now, I consider those characters that are following late and end styles. They are the most difficult and the most inconsistent. Why is it the case? Well, I guess such characters, they are mostly requiring support cards, which are going to provide kind of decent amount of skills that are going to provide you such an ability to avoid situations when you're going to be blocked during your race. And that's the main issue of such characters. Basically, I can provide you decent amount of examples where I'm coming with these characters like top 10, 8 or something like that. I'm doing it one time, I'm trying the second one time, the same situation, I'm doing it the third time, and for the third time I'm coming first. That's weird at some point. On the other hand, I understand how it actually works, and yeah, the whole thing is about the style of their run. And they're always getting blocked when I'm watching such runs. Just the whole thing that from the middle till the end they're getting blocked, they can't avoid such situations, and they're coming like not the first, despite the fact that I have just the perfect mood for these characters and I have fairly decent stats for speed, power, stamina, depending on tracks which I'm going to cover, I mean distances. So I'm taking into consideration all the parameters which are required for the run, and I'm able to get decent stats. But yeah, that's the whole thing. They're getting not first, just not because of stats or the mood, but because they're getting blocked. And right now, especially if you're a free-to-play player, it's not that easy to get all the necessary cards to provide your character skills that are going to help with such situations when you're getting blocked. So you have to deal with it, and how actually you are able to deal with it, it's pretty much easy. First thing that I'm going to really suggest you, it's quite an important one, is going to be actually find yourself some friends that have decent UMAs, that have decent sparks on these UMAs, which are going to be important for you, and some obviously support cards which are going to be really helpful. I'm going to explain in a little bit more details in a moment, but right now I need to show you some stuff. So why is it important to have certain friends and certain cards from them? Basically, when you're going to create your UMA and you're planning to raise it up, you're planning to build stats, build the strategy, gather all the necessary skills and so on, you want to get yourself some boosts for your strategies, for distances, and for certain stats. What I mean, when we're going here, for example, for my character, it's a gold ship. Yep, you know that she is specializing on long distances, and she is following end strategy and style of a gameplay and late style of a gameplay. But due to certain circumstances, I had some other UMAs that were specializing on some other tracks, on some other styles, and I got some friends that also have some cards that are specializing on different distances and styles. And as you can see here, My gold ship, she has S rank on mile distance, when in basic it's not the case actually, and S rank for pace style, when it's not the case as well. She's kinda bad in this type of gameplay or this style, I mean. How it happened so? Well, I had some characters that are able to provide from my side some boosts, some sparks for mile and for pace style of a gameplay, and from my friends that are going to provide the same boosts. So what does it mean? How the sparks are actually working? You have a certain chance, random chance, to receive certain boosts for your or stats or type of a gameplay or a distance based on the sparks that legacy Umas have. And in my case, when I was getting inspiration for the gold ship, I actually boosted the pace style to S rank and mile style to S rank. This is a moment of RNG, and obviously I got lucky, but at the very beginning, when you're building yourself the legacy for one specific Uma, you can from the very beginning receive some improvements for distances and styles that you're playing. So from the characters that you have, for example, when you're going to choose your legacy, you might see improvements on distance and on style. You just need to click through all of them, see what kind of sparks they have, and if, for example, in certain sparks you have pace style or mile style or whatever other style it's going to be, you will see an improvement. That's how it's working. Through the inspiration, again, it's a moment of RNG and you can get an improvement again. So yeah, the first thing that you should focus on is actually improving certain distance that you wanna focus on this specific character and a certain style. Well, in terms of gold ship, it's not really that cool to have on mile the S rank and not, for example, on a long run, because I actually was planning to use her on the long run. But hey, with certain skills and certain, let's say, configurations, I actually can put her for mile races, and always I'm using the pace style. It's not the best style for her, let's say. She's not going to activate certain skills, but you know what's the funny thing? That I am not losing with her almost in any case scenario. Even I'm talking about PvP, and for example for career mode, I finished it with the first try without using any, let's say, rerolls, retries, the alarm clocks, I mean. I completed it from the very beginning till the very end without any issues, because I received S rank to the pace style and I was using her with the pace style from the very beginning till the very end, because this one parameter, this one style was boosted. That's funny, not gonna lie. But overall, hey, it helped me, because the pace style is such type of a style, and I consider it's one of the most universal when Uma is actually trying to be in front of opponents, not like sprinters, not like front runners, be in front like completely in compared to others, but still it's close to it. So you're not going to be really blocked that much as, for example, those characters who are following the late strategy or the end strategy. And due to this fact, you have less situations when you're getting blocked, and Uma is able to use full her potential, activate her skills without any issues, and being able get higher chance to reach finish in the first place. So the first important thing to keep in mind is actually trying to boost and improve yourself the distance style that you wanna focus on for this specific character, and the style of a run. You wanna improve this one parameter as well. When we're talking about support cards, here actually an interesting moment, and I actually consider for myself the most universal and the most important card is Super Creek card. Yes, this one, Lady with the heart, which is basically going to boost stamina, but overall the most important thing that she's going to provide are her skills, and that's the whole reason why you wanna have her. Even for the majority of characters, you don't really need to boost their stamina. You need obviously to look at the basic stats of your character, where you're going to receive the most amount of boost, the most amount of improvements in terms of stats. Some of them, they have from the very beginning 20% increase for stamina stats, let's say, and from any training you're going to receive some additional boosts into this one specific parameter. So you not really need to use her specifically for training, but you want to use her for the skills that she's going to provide. And Swinging Maestra, especially when we're talking about some longer distances, it's not really that important for sprinters, it's more important for longer distances. The Swinging Maestro, oh my god, this is probably one of the best skills. The skills that are going to improve your endurance and going to recover it, they're going to be just a must. Also some skills that are going to increase your maneuverability, help you avoid situations when you're going to be blocked. This is also important one. The other one which you want to have is to actually focus on a specific style of a gameplay that you're going to use, pace chasers and so on. Or if you're using the late strategy, the late surge strategy, yeah, just have a look through cards. But overall, Creek, she's providing such skills that are going to be helpful for any character who is running longer distances. Like even I consider for Mile, some of her skills are really useful. And when we're talking about medium distances and long distances, 100%, no questions about it. So ideally you want to find a friend who is going to have this card at a certain advancement, obviously, because the higher the advancement, the better benefits you're going to receive from this card. And let's say, for example, I'm going to start the thing here, and here, for example, as you can see, from rank B, the long distance for my character improved to A rank. So that's pretty much how it's working. The same thing you can get for yourself for style. So we're going next. And now with the cards. So yeah, for friend card, as I was saying before, you wanna search for different friends with different cards, because based on your situation you might consider for yourself to use actually different of them. But in most of the cases, or better to say in all cases, I was able to complete all my UMA careers with using specifically from a friend this Creek card. So again, when we're going to have a look at what she is able to provide, she is really that good for characters who are pushing themselves at the last period of the distance. So the last spurt, increase velocity, slightly increase passing another runner mid-race, slightly recover endurance on a corner with efficient turning. All of them, they're kind of decent. And here, when we're going to have a look at her additional events, Swinging Maestro, here it is, you're going to get it as well. So yeah, I'm basically using her. Overall, I'm using, let's say, kind of a balanced strategy for all of my UMAs for now, just to be able to complete all careers, and after that I'm going to specialize more on certain goals which I want to achieve with different characters. But I'm using 2 speed cards, 2 power cards, 1 wit card and 1 stamina card, which is basically the power Creek. And when we're talking about the speed cards, for some longer distances, the special week is going to be also kind of an important one. From her events, let's say additional events that you're going to receive during career, she is able to also provide such skill which is called Gourmand, and it's going to be good for pace chaser. So again, you kind of want to build your UMAs, at least for now, to be able easily complete certain missions, certain careers on a pace chaser, and this card has been provided through an event, so for free. everyone might have it, or if you started late, well, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And also from her hints, she is able to provide some skills as well, which are kinda important for medium distances, for pace chasers as well, but also for late surgers. She's providing some skills as well. Again, based on what you want and how you want to build your strategy, but she's overall a useful one character. From the Fine Motion, also an important one card, because she's going to provide some same skills which are going to give you an additional discount, let's say if you're going to complete hints from her. And the same thing, maneuverability, acceleration on a straight. From career events you're going to receive also Speed Star skill, which is kinda important for pace chasers. Increase ability to break out of the pack on the final corner. I consider it also a really great one skill, so you definitely want to get advantage from it as well. For power cards, they're, let's say, not really that important. The Agnes Digital, she is actually able to provide certain buffs, which are kinda going to save your stamina, let's say, and work for medium and mild distances. She's not really that great, but hey, I have her, I'm using her, and I consider her kinda useful in compared to some other cards that I have. It is what it is, at least something. So yeah, 2 speed cards again, 2 power cards, 1 wit and 1 stamina card. And in most of the cases you don't really need to, you know, focus on stamina specifically, even for longer distances. I kinda have a feeling you wanna bring it to level of, for longer distances, maybe around 450-500 by the end of the run, but you don't really need it that higher, with some specific cards that I've provided that are going to help you to balance and save your stamina, let's say, and you may focus more specifically on speed and power, which is going to be for such characters, let's say, the most important parameters. That's how I actually was able to finish pretty much all careers. The universal strategy, maybe for long distance tracks, I'm going to remove 1 speed card and I'm going to use 1 more additional power card, but all the rest remains the same. For sprinters, for front runners, it's a little bit different. You don't really need power cards, you're focusing only on speed cards. And for PvP you wanna have 2 wit cards, but hey, again, you really don't need for them any stamina, you don't need buffs from Super Creek. And we're talking mostly here about some longer distances and characters that require more precise, you know, thinking and strategizing of their actions. But overall, when you're able to hit S rank for distances and styles of gameplay, is going to be way easier. I believe that's pretty much it for explanation of how it's working. First of all, you're looking for friends that have decent UMAs, which are able to provide you improvements for certain distances or style of a run. You're looking for some important support cards, and this is going to be the main aspect for you to have friends, and you always want to use some specific cards from these friends. And yeah, balance a little bit your stats, and during your career build up your relationships, let's say, with support cards, and being able to work specifically on your, for majority of characters, speed and power. And at the last moment, if you're balancing your stamina, your endurance, just a little bit on stamina, and overall that's pretty much it. You have kinda good stats for speed, for power, that's all you need. With that being said, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment if you find this interesting, or if you have some additions, let's say if you know something else, let me know about it, and see you guys in the next one. Subscribe.